because that's what a true free speech environment is about. Not just a few people shouting on a megaphone, exercising their right, but everybody feeling free to contribute to a discussion, a debate, the dialogue. And some people never will. Some people will always want to be, spectators or just passive participants. But we're doing these workshops, and I look at some of the history of free speech, why it's been fundamental to the modern world, to the scientific revolution, to human rights, to the emergence of liberal democracy, why education doesn't work, like I said earlier, without a culture of free speech.
Yeah.
And so all of these things, have been taken for granted. And I think it was Thomas Jefferson that said that, basically the price of freedom or liberty is eternal vigilance, right? You have to be, every generation has to be rediscovering or discovering for themselves for the first time what it actually means, to respect civil liberties. Because there are enormous benefits that flow from that. Now, having traveled and worked in different parts of the world, I have always been struck by not the supremacy of, certain cultures or races, but rather just the importance of a way of thinking that anybody anywhere in the world, if they understand those values, can implement in their daily life and then, affect their society around them in a very positive way because they get the value of concepts like free speech, which is a method, it's a method for being able to correct errors in your thinking, right? We've just had Peter Boghossian, a philosophy professor who used to be at Portland State University, and he talks about free speech being, a method for error correction. It's the exercise of experimenting, trying out new ideas. Language is essential to doing that. And if we can't take risks with the way we speak, trying new ideas out in public, bouncing them off each other, not always taking ourselves too seriously, not believing that this is the final iteration, this is the final version of my thinking, but this is still my thinking in development.